50 degrees at kickoff time. And we are ready for Colorado and Utah. Utah won the toss, deferred. Colorado will get the ball first, and we're underway from Boulder. This ball into the end zone for a touchback, and that brings out Shedeur Sanders. What a season, what a player, this young man.
I think Shedeur Sanders, his superpower is his command of the game. Yes, he's accurate. He creates. There's a little bit of surgeon in him. There's a little bit of artist in him. But again, it's the command of the game, his intelligence, understand what's going on. And he's going to have a tough task because this Utah team is going to try to disguise. This defense is going to look to be aggressive, get him on the ground, and confuse him with their looks, in particular pre-snap.
Last week, 30 of 43, 291 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He also rushed for a touchdown against Texas Tech. First down and 10 of the 25 for the Buffs. Empty backfield. Shedeur will throw it on first down over the middle and intercepted. First play of the game. Lander Barton just stepped in the passing lane, picked it off, and Utah in business. Play number 1.
Beautiful job by Lander Barton. He is just going to bait him right here. So here's Barton. He's going to go over to his left, and then he's going to drop into coverage and watch just a little bit of pressure from Shedeur Sanders' left side. There's a bump. He can't get the air that he needs to get that ball over Barton, and Barton gets the easy interception. Utah is in business. A short field for an offense that has struggled without some of their stars, and now it's going to be Isaac Wilson on the field, the true freshman for Utah as their quarterback.
So the Utes start first down and 10 at the 21. Let's see if they can capitalize off the turnover. They'll hand it off on first down. And this is Mekhi Bernard. He'll find positive yardage. Tackled by DJ McKinney. And that's a gain of 6. Quarterback issues has been a problem for Utah, it seems like, for the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, Cam Rising was supposed to be back, obviously, and he gets injured, goes down for the year, so it's Isaac Wilson forced into action, a true freshman, of course, brother of Zach Wilson, who's the backup quarterback just down the road for the Denver Broncos. Isaac, his challenge today is going to be ball security, as well as getting them in the right play, and then, Gus, pace of play. He needs to play this game slowly and make sure to try to milk the clock to keep that Colorado offense off the field.
And an early whistle.
False start. Number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Kevin Boitman, your referee today.
And here's the jump here on the right guard. Moei. Just a little bit of a rock right there.
And as for Isaac Wilson, he's a true freshman. He's been on an emotional roller coaster this season. Became the starter after Cam Rising season-ending injury. Benched against Houston a couple games back due to ineffectiveness. Lost the job altogether versus BYU. So here's an opportunity for the young man. Second down and 9 at the 20. Empty set. His brother, tremendous player at BYU. We'll throw this one near side. Ball caught. Bernard gets it upfield. He'll get close to that first down marker.
Gus, it's not just quarterback where they've been banged up. They've been banged up everywhere. And, oh, that's not what you want to see if you're a Utah fan. Mekhi Bernard getting up slowly, favoring that right shoulder. And here you see the notable injuries that they've suffered. Rising the quarterback. They're All-American caliber tight end Brant Kuithe. Money Park's their best wide receiver. Their best offensive lineman, Michael Mokofisi. This is a mash unit, and now they're running back. And Mekhi Bernard, Gus, he has been playing so well. Almost 1,000 yards on the year. They can throw it to him out of the backfield. So Utah up against it here from a health perspective.
So they bring Mike Mitchell, number 21, redshirt freshman from Orange Park, Florida, into the game.
Before the flag was thrown, timeout Utah, their first of the half.
So Utah calls a timeout, facing a 3rd and 1. We'll take a break. 12:55 to play first quarter. Utah forcing a turnover. Let's see if they can pay it off when we return. Coach Colorado for 15 seasons between 1895 and 2015. 3rd down and 1 of the 12. Here's a little tush push as Utah picks up the first down. This team, Joel, You even picked them to win the Big 12 preseason. They've just had a litany of injuries.
Yeah, and listen, everywhere but quarterback, you know, they're still playing at a really high level, and it's not Isaac Wilson's fault, but I think today it's about resiliency. What type of response are we going to see from Utah after that emotional loss last week against BYU? Fairly controversial, and so far the response has been very positive.
First down and goal at the 10-yard line. They'll stretch it out right. Bernard back in the game. Thankfully, looks like he went out with a shoulder injury, maybe a stinger, as Amari McNeil makes the tackle, a gain of 4.
Good to have him back. Mekhi has been excellent. He's a guy that could easily be an all Big 12 selection at running back. I think possibly a fairly high draft pick from the running back position. Like I said, narrowing in on 1,000 yards, and that's what they got to do today, Gus. They've got to run the football, control the clock, keep Shedeur Sanders and that high-powered Colorado offense off the field.
Second down and goal at the 6-yard line. Bernard remains in the game. And he'll give it to him straight ahead. And he'll get inside the Colorado 5. 6th year at Utah for Bernard, and having his most productive season yet. As you mentioned, Joe, close to 1,000. Came into this game with 860 yards rushing. 4 of his 6 career 100-yard games have come this season.
And I wonder right here, Gus, inside the 5, after that early pick, you see what he's responsible for as far as production. After that early pick, if you're Kyle Whittingham, with the way this season has gone, 5 straight losses, you get a chance like this early, I would imagine that he would go 4-down territory if they can gain even a little bit of yardage here. So I don't think that this is an automatic throw here. I think that they can be on the ground.
Third down and goal at the 4. Wilson sprints out, in trouble, and sack. Whoa, there's some major pressure from this Colorado D. This time, Arden Walker. Remember last week against Texas Tech, folks, 7 sacks.
Arden Walker with just a brilliant little speed rush with some power on that right side of the defense, just tosses the tackle down. That was Caleb Lomu, and he gets to Isaac Wilson, and now Utah has got to force a field goal. This front 7 for Colorado has been transformed in the offseason, and now they're probably the premier pass rushing team in the Big 12. They've been outstanding.
Cole Becker comes in to attempt a 32-yarder.
And it's good. But the Utah defense ready to come back on the field. They'll settle the offense for 3 here in the first quarter.
Now, question, and think about, when he's over there looking at the iPad and telling you something as a young defensive tackle, you think you're going to pay attention? I know I would.
They got pro guys on this team for Colorado. And look at this run. Colton Hood straight up the gut. But did he fumble the football? Let's see. 38-yard return. And that'll bring on Shedeur Sanders once again.
So, first turnover in the last couple of games. This Colorado team had played very clean. So, Shedeur is coming out. Obviously, as a quarterback, you got to forget that. Now, should be noted, Jimmy Horn, their electric speedster on the outside, he is not playing today. So, I think that there's going to be even more emphasis on trying to get the ball out to number 12, Travis Hunter. He's their most dynamic player on the outside. They also have LeJontay Wester, number 10. He's got great wiggle. He's going to be on the near side in the slot.
Jimmy Horn with a high ankle sprain. First down to the 42. They'll run it straight ahead. Augustin. For some reason, I like this guy's name. Isaiah Augustin. Gains 12.
All week I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know what I want to say about it, and you beat me to it. My man Augustus Johnson.
That's right.
Here, baby.
My daddy's name. First and 10 at the 44. Augustin remains in the game. Arkansas transfer. They'll give it to him running left. Turns it up. Gets to the 40 before getting clobbered by Smith Snowden. A flag on the play.
Looks like this one might come in kind of that area of a possible hold on that left side of the offensive line for Colorado.
Holding. Number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's the true freshman over there, the 5-star recruit, Jordan Seaton. Here's Seaton. He's playing left tackle right here, and he's going to be working on the outside. And, yeah, that's arm way outside of the shoulder pads. Just a nice little bear hug right there. Just getting acquainted here early in the game. Backs Colorado up.
And I tell you what, Joel, last year this Colorado offensive line gave up 52 sacks. Different story this year. They're playing much better.
They are. I wouldn't say that they're great, you know, but they are playing much better. Only 29 sacks to this point.
Sanders in trouble, and we shouldn't have even mentioned it. He is sacked by Logan Fano. A loss of 4.
This defensive front seven is finally healthy. Last week against BYU, that was the first game that they really were the projected front seven out there. And Fanu is one of these guys that can get after it. He's a sophomore from Spanish Fork, Utah. He's got 1.5 sacks on the year, but finally healthy. And you can see that explosiveness there. And this was something that Colorado was worried about. The pass rush from Utah showing up.
Second down at 24-41. Sanders bounces out of the pocket, gets a block. Directing traffic with his offhand and just throws this one out of bounds. I tell you what, though, Joe. Kyle Whittingham, the dean of coaches in college football, and a flag on the play. Longtime member of the Pac-12, now in the Big 12. Some feel that this may be his last year. There is a succession plan, but I don't know. I don't think Coach Witt can leave after this season. There's so much unfinished business.
Well, yes, that's a great description, Gus. And also, I just love the sport, and he's been, you know, a joy to cover, as you and I have talked about. And you know, he's been so good. I certainly wouldn't want his last year to go down like it has right now.
This will go against Colorado for Coach Whittingham.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 66 in the offense. The penalty is declined. Third down.
Coach Whittingham, 10 straight winning seasons, 2 Rose Bowls over the last 3 seasons.
There's the offensive line. Look at Travis Hunter was wide open down the field. He was trying to get that ball. He was trying to get Shedor's attention, and Shedor just never saw him. And wouldn't have counted anyways with illegal man downfield.
So that makes it third down and 24. Sanders throws a slant, and he's got his man. Not enough for the first down, but there's Wester.
Well, I tell you, this is not field goal range, but now you get in there, now it's 4th and 5 in this position on the field. You're certainly going to go for it, I would think, and it does look like Colorado will stay on the field with their offense. Servell Smalls comes in. He's the H-back. He'll be top of your screen. But, boy, you see the speed right there from Wester. He can move.
4th down and 5 at the 40. Utah showing blitz. Sanders, free play down the sideline. Caught! Touchdown! Whoa! Will Sheppard! Give me that! And don't say nothing! Fifth receiving touchdown of the year.
Let's look how smart Shedor is. He gets the jump. It's a free play right away. So who do you go to? You go to your tall wide receiver. Now you got the matchup on the outside. 6'3", 205. Will Sheppard. Look at the adjustment he makes right to the back shoulder of Elijah Davis, number 9. He's lucky he didn't get a flag for that, throwing down the too short signal in the end zone.
Blow the whistle.
Yeah, just saying. But how about that smart pass from Shedor Sanders?
Extra point up and good by Mata. Will Sheppard, first year at Colorado after 4 at Vandy, where he caught over 150 balls and 2,000 yards. Shedor putting the biscuit in the basket. Buffs on top, 7-3.
Why not when you got the size advantage like he had? But again, like that was just textbook. It's 4th and 5. They use the hard cadence with the second clap, and then they get the jump and they go right to the matchup. It's perfect.
Smith Snowden returns it at the sideline, and he'll get across the 30 up to around the 33 before being stopped. Let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Well, guys, we noticed that Utah running back Mekhi Bernard was banged up early. It's actually a right hand injury he's dealing with. They were examining his fingers. He was heating that hand on the sideline. He appeared to try gloves as well. Utah does not need any more injuries, especially from one of their leaders. He will give it a go, guys, but that hand is what to watch.
Thank you very much, Jen. 7-3 Colorado. Bernard active now. First down at the 32 for Isaac Wilson and the Utes. And he'll hand it off. Bernard makes the first man miss and fumbled the ball. That one's loose.
Well, this is what I was worried about for Bernard. If you're struggling with a hand injury, it becomes about ball security. You know, and depending on which arm or hand he's got that ball in, you just wonder about the grip strength. It looks like that ball did come loose, Gus, from our vantage point up here. Ball definitely on the ground, but look at him fight for it, and he's able to go back right between his legs and secure that ball. Fortunate bounce right there from Utah, and it'll be second down.
Second down and 9 at the 33. And you're just rooting for a young man like Isaac Wilson. Folks, he's a freshman. A lot of pressure on this Utah quarterback. Wilson with time, moves around in the pocket. Pulls it down now. Dumps it down. Bernard. Little jitterbug. Upended by DJ McKinney. And that's a 2-yard gain.
And if I'm Colorado defensively, I'm just going to dare Utah to throw the ball. That's where they're struggling. They do not have a lot of help at the wide receiver position, and that's where Colorado is strong with those corners led by Travis Hunter. So if I'm Colorado, I've got everyone down near the box, even on these third downs, because right now for Utah, it's going to have to be something short, some sort of crossing route to beat the man coverage that the Buffs are going to be employing.
Third down and 7 at the 35. Wilson in trouble, lets it go, and incomplete. That ball intended for Dorian Singer, but he slipped and fell coming out of his break, and that will force the Utes to punt the football.
Here's the pressure. Watch the defensive tackle, and he's going to get a little inside move on the guard. Beautiful inside move. Provides the pressure because the route from Singer was actually there. Great pressure right there again. This Colorado team, that's McNeil, Amari McNeil, and you see on the outside Dorian Singer, who is their best wide receiver by a long shot. He had a step.
So they'll send it away. Bomeister, and this one returned. Wester straight ahead. Wester with a lead! Wester, 76 yards, touchdown, Buffalo. This kid is sensational.
Second straight game that Utah has given up a kick return touchdown. Not like Kyle Whittingham. Watch the speed from Wester right here. He breaks back and then it's just gone. Good block right there, just getting enough. And Wester's speed showed up. What did Deion call him yesterday? He's one of his Florida boys.
That's right.
The leader of the Florida boys. He always wants about 20 of those guys up here in Boulder, and Wester turns on the Jets and finds the end zone.
Wester, first year at Colorado after 4 at FAU, where he caught 250 balls, 21 for scores. He is FAU's all-time leading receiver, and he's a big-time punt returner in this game so far. Colorado starting to smack around Utah. Back to Boulder after this. It was a great game.
It was.
Who won it?
Utah won that game.
Utah won that game.
Yeah, there was a young tight end by the name of Brant Keithy that played great in that game, and he was playing great until last week. Unfortunately for Utah, Keithy went down, and a big reason why this offense is in the precarious situation that they're in.
Snowden mishandles it, picks it up inside his own 10. And Snowden will go down close to the 15. Tomorrow on Fox, we've got a great slate of NFL action coming your way. Catch
NFC North rivals as they go head-to-head. Jordan Love and the Packers take on Caleb Williams and the Bears, or the Seahawks battle the Niners. It's all coming up tomorrow on Fox. Check for the game in your area. Caleb Williams already making headlines as offensive coordinator, getting fired. Rumors coming out this week that the players wanted him benched. 9 sacks the Bears give up last week. Welcome to the NFL,
Yeah,
young man.
good luck.
Welcome to the Chicago Bears. First down and 10 at the 15. Oh, and Wilson. Mine just got destroyed. Unbelievable. Bentley. Levante Bentley.
I mean, he better be careful with the ball. Watch as he's giving that fake, and a little miscommunication with Mike Mitchell, 21, and he barely gets a hold of that ball before Bentley shows up, and Bentley was downhill in a hurry. And again, if I'm Colorado, I'm just selling out to stop the run. There's no reason or no threat that Utah is giving me that shows that they can throw the football. So get downhill and get after that run game.
Second down and 13 at the 12. Wilson with time underneath, and it's caught, and the ball pops free. Ball picked up. Bentley gets in, but they're going to say this is an incomplete pass. So Utah will catch a break. This Colorado defense looks aggressive to start this game.
Yeah, this front has been transformed by the transfer portal, but then it's also the speed on the outside, right? And it's these guys. There's Stoutmeyer, and that's going to be awfully close. Let's go real time here as far as if that ball was actually caught by Carson Ryan, number 85. You see, I don't think there was enough time there, and that was pretty clear incompletion. It's a good call by the officials.
Third down and 13 at the 12. They get it off. Wilson up the sideline. Incomplete. Singer, the target, and Utah will punt.
Last week, after Keithy went down, every third down the rest of the game, they targeted Dorian Singer. He's a transfer. He started at Arizona. He was an all Pac-12 receiver, went to USC last year. Didn't really work out at USC, only about, 20 some odd catches there, and then this year he's got 44. He's their focal point, but without Keithy, they go to him almost too often, Gus, and you can see Colorado was ready for it.
So Wester back deep, and this one may have been partially blocked. Takes a Utah bounce and dies at the 45, but there was pressure on Bouwmeester.
Tell you what, man, you think back, this game started on the very first snap with a Utah interception, Gus. I mean, and the response from Colorado has been terrific. Here's the defense getting a chance to get off the field. Inside the 5, they get the sack. They force Utah to kick a field goal, and the offense comes right back. Beautiful fourth down play, a fade down the field to Shepard for a touchdown, and then LeJontay Wester, after the defense goes 3 and out, force a punt, Wester goes to the end zone, and Colorado has been all business since that first interception.
First down to the 45 now for the Buffaloes. Augustin in the backfield. Sanders with the hitch. Shepard, and he's met immediately. Well defended this time as Cameron Calhoun drops him in space, a loss of 1.
Great reaction from Cameron Calhoun, because Colorado is really good at these outside screens. Gus, if this game is played on the outside in space, Colorado wins going away. That's where they have the advantage. Utah wants to take Colorado into a phone booth.
Second down and 11 underneath. Little bit of running room, not a lot, and that is Wester. He gains 4.
That was the first of a lot of those little tunnel screens, those middle screens to the wide receivers. Colorado uses that almost like a run game, and now produces an opportunity here on third down for Utah to get off the field. If I was Shedeur, I would think about using that hard cadence or that second clap, because I think Utah is going to be in a blitz mode here to try to get after the quarterback. Why not use that aggressiveness against him?
Third down and 7 at the 48. Sanders, play fake, with time. Look at him, bounce around, calm, cool, and he'll get rid of it. Well played by this Utah defense. Nobody open,
4th down and 7.
And that brings up 4th down, and Colorado will punt it away.
I think they were expecting that pressure because they only sent 3 guys out on the route, and then Utah dropped out into zone. There you see a slip from Travis Hunter on the opposite side. Good aggressiveness from these corners that are putting hands on the wide receivers. There's a huge key for Utah. Coming into today's ball game, they did not want to allow these speedsters on the outside to get down the field without some contact.
So Mark Vassett will punt it away from the 34. Dorian Singer is the deep man at the 15. This one angled toward the near side and bounces into the end zone for a touchdown. 52-yard punt.
Man, that one almost snuck inside the pylon. You can see right here that last bounce. That was almost going to be inside the 1. Fortunate for Utah, it goes out of the end zone, and they'll get the ball at the 20. But again, here Gus, on 1st down, I think the entire key to these series for Utah is positive yards on 1st down. That's what you've got to find, whether it's creativity in the run game, an easy completion on the outside. And if I'm Colorado, this is the down that I want to be most aggressive with. I want to be very aggressive on 1st down and put Isaac Wilson behind the chains.
Charlie Vincent comes in at running back for the Utes. And so far for Utah, 3 possessions, 12 plays, 12 yards. And this is Vincent. Gobbled up by Hill Green after a gain of 2.
You know, I'm a real big fan of Nakai Hill-Green. So he transfers in, and watch how patient he is at linebacker. Watch him stay deep, stay deep, stay deep. He does that in order to stay clean. That way the offensive line can't get that double team up to the linebacker. But when 41 is clean, that guy is an eraser at the 2nd level, and he's been a huge key in the middle of this Colorado defense.
Transferred from Michigan, from Baltimore, Maryland. 2nd down and 8 at the 22. Bernard back in. Wilson. Quick strike. Incomplete. Carson Ryan, closest man to the football. Travis Hunter in the vicinity.
Boy, you got to be very careful throwing the ball at that man. He has got great production, obviously, and normally you just don't see passes thrown his way. It just doesn't happen. It didn't happen against Texas Tech. And here, just to try to complete that short route, and now on 3rd and 8. You know, if you're Isaac Wilson, you've got to be very careful and understand where is number 12. And now Hunter is going to go over, and it looks like he's going to be man-to-man on Dorian Singer. Remember, Singer is who they try to target on 3rd down.
3rd down and 8 at the 22. Wilson fires, caught, and a 1st down. Dorian Singer ran a great route, and Wilson put it on him. Gain of 16.
He does a great job. This is called a stair step. So you go across and then you go up the field in order to get a little bit of space and then flatten out. That creates the space against Hunter. A great job, and the protection is there, and Wilson delivers the best ball of the day. And you can tell on 3rd down, where are they going? Number 3. Dorian Singer is the guy they're looking to. He's their best threat on the outside.
So a 1st down at the 38-yard line for the Utes. Wilson underneath, another little screen for Singer, and he gets clobbered. It's hard hitting going on for this Colorado team. Walker, also Hill Green in on the play.
I'll tell you, Nakai Hill-Green is just flying around. Watch as he spins, and then there's Nakai Hill-Green. My goodness. And again, when you're watching 41, when he stays clean and stays deep behind kind of the rest of the defense, that's when he's at his best.
2nd and 10 at the 38. Isaac Wilson with the handoff. Bernard trying to stretch it out wide. Not a lot of room. Cameron Silliman Craig, the senior from Birmingham, Alabama. Jackson State transfer. They love him on this team.
Yeah.
He's their leader.
I love him too. Watching him on film, you know, there's those players that just jump off the tape, and Silman Craig is one of those. He, as the coaches explained to us, is the heartbeat of this defense. He's a guy that joined Prime when Prime was just a high school coach back at Trinity in Texas, took a chance on Prime to go there, then went with him to Jackson State, now is here with them in Colorado, and boy, it's paying off. This guy is a sensational player.
3rd down and 7 at the 41. Wilson throws it up the sideline. Intercepted. Hunter. He's got a block. Travis Hunter. Into Utah territory. What a play for Colorado. Oski.
Well, you're going to give Colton Hood the assist here because he's the one that makes the play. So Wilson gets a little pressure and just kind of throws it up to the corner. That's why it's short, but Hood is out of phase and has to react to get back to the catch area, and he knocks the ball away from the wide receiver, and then you've got the Oski drill. Tip, tip, Travis Hunter is ready, and he's giving everybody the Heisman. The favorite right now getting some production here with an interception.
His third interception of the season. A little too much celebrating, though, for Colorado. They'll take the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
First down, Colorado. This is number 12's first foul for unsportsmanlike conduct.
I'll tell you what, man, let's go above and beyond right now. Sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above, and that above and beyond is Travis Hunter. He's got 95 receiving yards per game. He's got 9 receiving touchdowns, 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble, and I guess that too is now a 3 with the production that he's got here so far today.
Travis Hunter, 8 career interceptions now, 6 of them since he came to Boulder after transferring from Jackson State.
Number 7, Dallin.
No gain on this run by Dallin Hayden, the Ohio State transfer.
Number 3,
Travis Hunter, offense and defense, hybrid, Heisman candidate. And right now, after 1, the Colorado today. Second down and 10 at the 37-yard line. For Sanders and the Buffalo offense. Here's Shador with time, dancing around. Bounces it out, squares his shoulders, and just throws this one into the dirt. Terrell Timmons Jr., closest man to the football.
Well, this is a really important series for Utah, because Colorado's going to be looking for a big shot here. Now, maybe not on 3rd and 10. You're just looking to try to convert. But if they can stay on the field, I would expect them to try to throw something down the field on this series and open this thing up. Kyle Whittingham knows that, and he understands that's what makes this 3rd down such an important down for them, trying to get this ball back.
3rd and 10 at the 37. Dallin Hayden in at running back. Sanders backpedaling. Sanders, and he'll go down. Great pressure, and this is Karene Reed.
Karene Reed. I love watching this guy on tape. Watch him on the pressure, and he's just going to come right around that right side of the offense. Dallin Hayden was a little mixed up in his pass protection from the running back spot, and Reed gets in there, and as the coaches said, this is a Utah man. And I tell you what, Shador Sanders is sure lucky that ball didn't come out. He was awfully careless with that ball just in his right hand, not securing it through that sack.
Loss of 14 on the play. So that brings on Bassett to punt inside his own 10. Dorian Singer is the deep man at the 36. This one angled toward the near side. End over end kick. And muffed. And it will go out of bounds at the 40. Atlanta Falcons, Dallas Cowboys, Pro Baseball, Cincinnati Bengals, New York Yankees. CBS Sports as an excellent commentator. NFL Network as an excellent commentator, coaching Little League football, his sons during that time. Now he goes to college football, coaches at Jackson State, wins SWAC titles. Now he's at Colorado, and in less than 2 years, he's got a prime not only go to the Big 12 championship, but he could win it and go to the college football playoffs. Unbelievable, and his critics have been very, very noticeably quiet.
Bernard, the ball carrier.
All of them.
Hard to be critical of what's going on right now in Colorado, 7-2, and in particular the way that they've improved all over the place, and namely on this defense. This defense has been very good in the second half of the year. You know, Rob Livingston, their defensive coordinator, he's going to be one of the leading candidates for the Broyles Award. That's, of course, goes to the best assistant coach in college football for what he's done with this crew, and namely this defensive front 7. They get after the quarterback, and again, their pass rush has been fierce, and that's what needs to show up on a 3rd down.
3rd down and 9 at the 41. Wilson Under pressure, Wilson steps up, gets rid of it, incomplete. Singer had to reach down to grab that one.
Well, the protection was there initially for Wilson, but the coverage was just too good. They were running man coverage, and they're trying to bring Singer all the way across the field to beat the man coverage. And you're going to see Singer, he's going to be coming in, but watch as he's going to get knocked around on the inside of that defense unintentionally as the linebacker is trying to blitz late. Wilson gets the ball to Singer a bit late, and it's just a little bit out of his reach.
I'll tell you, when Coach walked into our meeting yesterday, Robert Livingston, I was like, who is this graduate assistant? Who is this young man? And he's been so successful. Another pro guy, Joel.
Well, they're filled with them over there, and I got to tell you, the NFL
Start. First down and 10 now with a 14-3 lead. Shedeur drops it off near side. Western ran a punt back. Over 70 yards in this game. Pushed out of bounds by Calhoun.
You know, this is a trend with Utah. Look at all these guys still looking for the call. You know, and Utah will get lined up late, and Colorado took advantage of that with a quick snap. It's something that I've noticed on film. I'm sure Colorado has noticed that on film as well. Utah loves to get the defensive call from Morgan Scalley, their defensive coordinator, as late as possible. You wonder if there's a trick up Colorado's sleeve to try to take advantage of that today.
Second down and 8 at the 16. Sanders, that one broken up. Well defended. Cameron Calhoun, we've been mentioning his name a lot.
Yeah, true freshman from Cincinnati. He actually transferred, was originally committed to Michigan, and you can see him right here, 6 foot, 177, just didn't bite on anything downfield, sat on that route. Beautiful job knocking the ball away.
Third down and 8 at the 16.
The real success that they've had offensively, Colorado, was that slant route to Western. You know, so you wonder if they're trying to get something on an inside breaking route again.
Trips at the top of your screen on third down and 8. Shedeur Sanders buying time. Scrambling, lines up for the deep ball. Incomplete on a flag. Hunter the target. But Teo Johnson was draped all over him.
Pass interference. Number 5, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's Zamaya Vaughn.
Well, Vaughn gets caught up here, and listen, this is, as an old baseball player, Gus, I kind of love this. This is what I would call moxie. So watch Hunter as he's running down the field, and even with the ball in the air, watch him just take a beat and just be like, oh, I'm just going to kind of relax. So he calls for the ball, but then the ball's in the air, and see him just stop. He baits Vaughn into the contact. He doesn't make a move until the ball is actually on him, and that's why Vaughn didn't know where the football was. That's a really smart play from Travis Hunter.
First down at the 31 now. Here's the run. Augustine. Kanavasa, big man in the middle, number 57, with the tackle. Gain of 3.
This front for Utah, they've given up a couple of long plays. The fourth down that was for a touchdown. There was a third down slant to Western. That pass interference right there on Zamaya Vaughn. But I got to tell you, the front has played really well. They've gotten some pressure on Sanders. There's nowhere to run the football. It's a very stout front.
Second down and 7 at the 34. Here's a handoff. Augustine will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of shuffling going on that Colorado offensive line, especially at the center position. They've got a true freshman walk-on, Joel, as the starting center, Cash Cleveland.
Yeah, Cash Cleveland has been kind of bouncing around with Hank Zelinkus, and Cash is getting the start here today. Cash was a high school teammate of the left tackle, Jordan Seaton. They're both true freshmen. Seaton was a 5-star recruit, and then he ends up telling the coaching staff, hey, I vouch for this guy inside. You need to take a chance on Cash Cleveland. They give him a preferred walk-on spot, and here he is on the field.
Third down and 7 at the 34. Sanders rolls out of the pocket, throws on the move. Incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside. I tell you, these Utah corners have done a nice job. They really have. Here's Timmons. Terrell Timmons, transferred from North Carolina State. The coverage is just too good right there. And Rabbit Evans, number 13, transfer from Blinn Junior College in Texas. Terrific coverage knocking that ball away.
Bassett will send it away once again, punting from his own 20. Dorian Singer is the deep man. That is 26. Singer backpedaling. They're caught at the 23. 43-yard punt. So Travis Hunter and the Buffalo defense.
There at fifth would probably be Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback here at Colorado, but Travis leading the pack.
First down and 10 for Utah. At their own 24, Mike Mitchell in the game at running back. Wilson guns it, incomplete. All right, here's today's Aflac Trivia question, sponsored by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Who are the last two teammates from a Big 12 team to both be Heisman finalists in the same season?
Oh, that's a great question.
Do you know the answer?
I'm just going to guess it's an Oklahoma answer. I think that Jason White and Adrian Peterson were both finalists back in the early 2000s, and I can't think of anybody. I can't think of any other team since. So that would be my answer. I think it was.
And you're on a streak answering that question, that Aflac Trivia question. You've hit like 5 in a row. Let's see if you're right. Second and 10 at the 24. Wilson throws off his back foot. Oh, he had a wide open receiver.
Intended for number 82,
Landon King.
And he was wide open. As we take a look at the Aflac Trivia, it was D.D. Westbrook. I forgot about D.D. Westbrook. Baker obviously won the Heisman at Oklahoma. D.D. Westbrook, he and Mayfield were finalists in 16. Colorado looking to do that this year with Shedeur and Travis. And, you know, I think that there's a pretty good chance of that. But, you know, back to that play, we were trying to finalize that after that. They were wide open right there. Landon King behind the defense.
Third down and 10 at the 24. Wilson in trouble. Wilson wants to run it, and he'll go down hard. Stopped by Hill Green. Gain of 6.
Well, Colorado drops into a zone coverage, and he's got to get away from the initial rush. So watch as Wilson drops back, and then he's got to take off into the middle of that pocket. Good rush right there by number 93. That's Okunlola. And then there's Hill Green. I tell you what, man, Hill Green is just a terrific tackler, and he comes up, makes the open field tackle, and Utah has to punt it away.
4th 3 and out for Utah. LeJohntay Wester returned 170+ yards. First time he touched it, won't get a shot this time. As it trickles inside the 30. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, speaking of that Heisman conversation, I had a really nice chat with Shedeur Sanders yesterday about Travis Hunter. Obviously, these two have such a special relationship. They play together for so long. I asked Shedeur specifically why Travis should win it. He said it is so hard to instill fear like he does on both sides of the ball. What he's doing, it's not going to be able to be done again. He doesn't have a choice at this point. He has to go win the Heisman, and don't worry, I'm going to keep feeding him to make sure there are no questions when that decision needs to be made.
And some people ask the question, what position does he play if he goes to the NFL? What are your thoughts, Joe?
Well, you know,
when he goes to
everybody has a thought. I think that you put him at corner. He's a dominant corner, and then, oh, look at this. We got a little wildcat here.
And they'll run it near side. Harge breaks it down the sideline and out of bounds. Here's a wrinkle and a flag on the play. Dale Johnson knocks him out of bounds.
I think that they're going to grab a hold again on Colorado. That's kind of what it looked like.
Holding, number 66, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Justin Mayers, right guard.
And Mayers is in this rotation. They play about 6 different guys. Here's Mayers right here, his right guard spot. And he's working against Connor O'Toole. You see outside of the shoulder, and then he just holds him there. That's right where the ball goes. And that's perfect work by our camera crew.
But can you finish your thought? What do you play him at?
So I think you play him at corner, because in the NFL, I think he's probably a 2 or 3 at wide receiver, which means as a 3 wide receiver, you're only going to play probably 30 snaps based on the different personnel groups. So that means he could be a full-time 3 receiver and play corner the whole time, and you get the value on both sides.
First down and 20 for Shedeur. Flag on the play and incomplete.
They're going to get another hold here. Colorado can get sloppy. There's times during the game where it kind of falls apart.
Holding. Number 23, offense. Penalty is declined. Second down.
That's Augustov, the
Correction,
running back.
Utah has decided to take the penalty. They'll be enforced half the distance to the goal line. Replay first down.
Already the 3rd hold. You're going to see Augustov, the running back. So the running back, Augustov, he's just coming right over here. And then he gets beat and reaches out and grabs and just tackles the blitzer as Shedeur is trying to roll out to that side. So some sloppy play here from the offense, and Deion not liking it. And this is when, and we talked about this with him as Kyle Whittingham backs him up. We talked about this with Deion, and I told him, remember, Gus, I said, like, listen, when your guys are really focused and playing detail oriented, it's really good. But he's more animated this year when things go south than he was a year ago. And he said, yeah, the standards are higher. The expectations are higher, and the stakes are higher as well. And we're in November playing meaningful games, and yeah, they've had a good start here. It's 14-3, but you can't just go backwards on offense, because inevitably what ends up happening is the ball bounces the wrong way if you're Colorado, or you give up short field position to Utah, and you're in a fist fight.
It's almost like a loss of concentration.
That's exactly right.
First down and 29. Hayden crashes forward to 15. Barton.
Tackled by number 8, Lander Barton.
I wonder if they're going to hit one of these tunnel screens. You know those inside screens to the wide receivers? They're so good at it. You start looking at Wester or even Travis Hunter. If you can get them in space, that's your best chance at this long of a yardage.
Second down and 23 at the 15-yard line. Sanders over the middle, caught, not enough for the first, as Smalls makes the reception, and he will pick up 12 yards.
And they have just lived in 3rd and long. Every 3rd down today for Colorado has been 3rd and long. Average to go is 12, and so you're looking up at your Shedeur Sanders, and you're going to get some sort of pressure look from Utah. And Utah has been able to get to the quarterback. That front has done a really nice job of affecting Shedeur in the pocket on these 3rd downs.
Colorado 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversion. Hayden is the pistol back. Ball on the ground. Who's got it? Utah says they have it. And they do.
What a huge mistake here from Shedeur. The ball hits him right in the hands. He calls for the snap. The snap hits him right in the hands, and he just drops it. Cash Cleveland snaps it back, maybe a touch short, but certainly not anything that a quarterback can't handle. And he takes his eyes off it just a litting bit. It's short, and it's hitting the ground, and exactly what I just said. You lose concentration, you start going backwards, the ball bounces the wrong way one time, and you give short field position to Utah. This is what happens to Colorado. They lose concentration, and it goes south for a series here and there. And if you're going to go win a championship, you cannot do that. Now it's on Utah to try to pay off this short field position like they were unable to do on that first series.
Junior Tafuna with the recovery. First down and 10 at the 23 for the Utes. Wilson in trouble again, and Wilson hit as he throws, incomplete. I tell you, that pass rush, we have been talking a lot about what Warren Sapp has done, but how about Damian Lewis, who is the defensive line coach coming over from the Seattle Seahawks, and he has been wonderful with this team.
Well, they are just getting the ruling on that, whether that was a fumble or an incomplete pass, but you're right, Gus.
Nwankwo and Okunlola defensively for Colorado. There he is.
Damian Lewis was a former first-round draft pick. Also played defensive line in Miami, by the way. Didn't play with Warren Sapp at Miami, but was there a few years later. Was a first-rounder. Played 10 years in the league. Was just the defensive line coach with the Seattle Seahawks before coming here to Boulder. And this group up front has been very active and disruptive all year.
Second down and 10 to the 23. Wilson, play action fake. Sets up. Looking. Wilson dancing, and Wilson ambushed behind the line of scrimmage. Amari McNeil, but Wilson will get 3 yards on the play.
I tell you what's so different is because they can rush the quarterback, they don't have to play man coverage anymore. And so there's nowhere for Isaac Wilson to go with the ball. And Rob Livingston is trusting this defensive line to get home. You look at their sack production last year, 28 all year, tied for 60th in the country, and now already 29 entering the ball game. They're top 10 in the country, most in the Big 12.
3rd down and 7 at the 20. Wilson looking. Wilson, nobody to throw it to. And it'll be tackled from behind. Isaac Wilson stopped by McCoy. That's a 4-yard gain. Brings up 4th down.
And I think that Kyle's going to take the points and make it a 1-possession game. I think that that's smart with the way that Utah's defense has been playing. This is a big win, though, for Colorado. That's twice that this defense has been put on the field, plus territory, a short field for Utah. Now twice that they forced Utah in a kicking situation.
This one from 34 yards away for Cole Becker. Good today from 32, and this one good as well. 14-6, Colorado with the lead. Utah, though, refusing to die. To 6, Kyle Whittingham. His team, there's one thing that you always know about his teams. They're going to fight you until the very end, regardless of the situation.
I've loved covering Utah for my whole career. And I was interested on the response that we were going to get from this Ute team here today. And it's been an emphatic positive in terms of the way Utah has played so far.
Hood. And he's ridden down close to the 15. Let's go downstairs and check in with Stoner.
Hey Gus, coming up on the State Farm at halftime, the second-ranked Buckeyes, where they caught looking ahead to next week's massive showdown against Indiana, live on Fox. Plus, an old Southwestern Conference rivalry renewed, Texas and Arkansas. And Clemson's still alive in the ACC championship game hunt, but they have to get out of Steel City with the win. All the highlights coming up at the break, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Like what Dabo's doing with Clemson this year, rebounding. Nicely done. 1st and 10 of the 15 for Colorado.
They just couldn't get away from Jeff Brom. Brom always upsets somebody, you know. They took that L to Louisville.
Here's Miller. And he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the rhythm for this Colorado offense is zero right now. There's no rhythm. They've just had a ton of mistakes. Shedeur has thrown now a pick. He dropped a snap that was right in his hands. They did have that 4th down throw that ended up into a touchdown and a punt return, but Deion cannot be happy with the way his offense has played. It's been sloppy, and they can't get open on the outside. Credit to Utah's defense for the way that they've answered the bell after that punt return.
2nd down and 10 of the 15. Sanders in trouble. Reverses his field. Sanders reverses again. He looks like Fran Tarkington out there. Throws on the move. Caught on the sideline. Shepard, he'll pick up a 1st down and more. Will the thrill. Stopped by Rabbit Evans, but that's a gain of 14 the hard way.
I tell you, man, that was giving me anxiety up
You
here.
probably don't remember Fred Tarkington, but that's how I used to run.
I remember that, and maybe even that old Archie Manning tape as well.
There you go.
Archie doing that a little bit. But this is why I said earlier, Gus, remember when I said he's got part surgeon, part artist in his game? That was the artist showing up right there for Shedeur.
1st and 10 of the 29. Inside, they throw it to Western. And what's that play called that they're trying? Is that the bubble screen?
It's a tunnel screen. Tunnel meaning that it's going to hit inside, right? So they're trying to hit that inside, and they've been incredible at that during the course of the year, but Utah is all over it, and today this offense has just been stagnant.
Is there a difference between a tunnel and a bubble?
Yeah, a bubble generally goes towards the outside, so you're relying on a wide receiver block on the outside versus a tunnel where the linemen are going to get out and you're going to break back towards the inside. This right there is a little bit of a tunnel screen from a wide receiver trying to get back inside. But again, great pursuit by this Utah team. This is a bread and butter play for Colorado. Watch, Gus, this is what I'm talking about. Watch as they're going to go and try to bring back inside, not going to the outside, but inside of the outside wide receiver. And Utah is just there to make the stop.
And the bubble will go on the outside.
That's exactly right. You're trying to get down the sideline on a little bubble screen.
Okay, I just learned something today. Knowledge is key. 3rd down and 9 at the 30. Sanders, all kinds of pressure. Sanders breaks contain again, throws on the move, caught. 1st down. If it stands, there is a flag. Travis Hunter with the catch. And offside may be the call.
I think he got him to jump again.
Offside. Number 57, defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
That's Tanuvasa. First catch of the day for Hunter.
Yeah, and again, you see that hard cadence, and good job by Cash Cleveland, the center. He gets the jump and he snaps right away with the defender in the neutral zone, so you get a free play. And then there's Hunter wide open on the edge, and he's able to spin away, get that 1st down. First catch of the day, as you mentioned.
1st down at the 40. Sanders. Far side. And this one is caught. Hayden out of the backfield. But it was so much fun watching you talk to Cash Cleveland yesterday. He's just got a big old smile. Just fun kid.
Yeah, he really is. A great personality, and certainly a guy. When I told him, I said, hey, you know, Cash, I was a walk-on here. His eyes lit up. He goes, really? I was like, that's right. I was a walk-on. He was like, all right, man, I'll do you proud. So it's a great attitude.
And that's what he's doing so far, trying his best. Here's a catch. Stop and start. Hunter. And Travis Hunter with his Fred Astaire moves. And he knocks down the lefty jump shot in the process, a gain of 4.
Man, he's just so sudden.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. Colorado with a 14-6 lead. But Utah fighting. Back after this. (14-6). Colorado, 2 minutes to play, 2nd quarter. Sanders 7 for 7 on this drive. Third and 4. Shedeur dumps it off for that 1st down. Wester. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds. Maybe short. Barton there to push him out of play.
A nice little motion right here. So watch, you're going to get Wester in on the motion, and then he's immediately back out to the left. They're trying to get a little speed cut, and he just does get the line to gain, and they're going to move the chains.
1st down. And they'll shuttle it. Hayden, they'll make that Wester. And Wester picks up 14.
Yeah, and they've got to continue to play this style of game. Quick passing game, get on the edge, play the game in space. If you're just sitting back and trying to throw the ball from the pocket, this rush will get after you.
1st down from the 36. Sanders, again, a whirling dervish, and they'll just slide down.
And this is going to be another hold. It's going to be the 4th hold on Colorado. It's going to back them way up. This one's going to be the 2nd one on Jordan Seaton.
Holding. Number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
They're trying to get right back to that same play they had just run, right? Where you kind of get out into the flats and you're going to flip it out to someone with speed like Wester, number 10. But watch 77. He's right there. He just throws his defender to the ground. That's Lander Barton, number 8, and then lays on him, and the flag comes out right away.
So that will make it 2nd and 15. Ball at the 41-yard line. Utah showing blitz. Sanders, they pick it up, dumps it off. Far side, Hayden. And Hayden gets down the field as Vaughn trips him up. A 7-yard gain for Dallin Hayden.
Well, you've got to gain positive yards to feel like you're in field goal range for Alejandro Mata. Shedeur on this drive, 10 of 10 for 56 yards. But they need about 5 more to feel they've got field goal range. I wonder, you know, depending on the distance to go if he would go for it on 4th down.
3rd down and 8 at the 34. Sanders fires it down the field. Wester incomplete. Broken up. Smith-Snowden with a nice pass deflection. And that will bring up 4th down.
That's a great stop for Utah. A great job down the field from Smith-Snowden. He's able to bat that ball away. You see this oftentimes from Colorado. These 3rd downs, they'll just throw fades. That was an all-out blitz from Utah. No in-breaking routes. And here on a 4th down, substantial 4th down, they're going to keep the offense on the field and go for it.
4th down and 8 at the 34. Sanders guns it. Sanders in a pocket. Oh, what a catch! Travis Hunter! Give him the Heisman now! In double coverage, but there is a flag.
Holding number 21 defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So watch that they're going to attack this corner of the field right here. So Hunter is going to take off to that corner of the field, and then it's literally a jump ball. He turns around and he gives his chest to the quarterback, and it's in between 2 players, and he just rises above them to get it. Gus, what are we watching? This guy is unbelievable.
Folks, there were 4 guys in the vicinity. A gain of 28, 1st and goal at the 6.
And Shedeur didn't even mind. He just threw it up and he high pointed it because he knows he can jump out of the gym.
Saunders, the fade in the corner. Shepard, touchdown, Colorado. Will I am, 2nd touchdown of the day.
And again, just using that big body, going against Cameron Calhoun, the true freshman. Shepard again is 6'3". He's 200 pounds, and he's just able to get a little space. Ball is thrown perfectly from Sanders, and he's able to catch it, get that foot down, and it's a touchdown for the Buffs inside of a minute. That's a great series from Shedeur Sanders when they really needed it. They had not had much over the course of the 2nd quarter, and now they've got 21, Gus, and that offense came alive.
14-play drive covering 85 yards as the Buffs eat up 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Sanders to Shepard again.
Travis was just insane. You know what's lost in that catch from Travis?
What?
Is that on a 4th down, it's a little pooch kick. They're trying to just place it over there.
And they do. Utah have it around their own 35.
Gus, I was just going to say on that 4th down, the reason he goes for it, speaking of Deion Sanders on that 4th down, is because of the defense. Utah's longest drive has been 21 yards. So he's like, listen, I've got confidence that even if we don't get this, we're not going to give up a score because the defense was playing so well. So defense leading to offense and the mentality and the aggressiveness that Coach Prime can have with his offense. And then on 4th downs, what do? You go to your best players and they just high point Travis. That was, man, I still can't believe it was literally a jump ball.
Yep. And he came down with it. 1st down at the 35 for the Utes. Wilson steps into his throw a little high.
I got to see it again. I'm telling you. Shedeur wasn't throwing this to an area. He was literally throwing it to a high point. Look at him elevate over everyone. Holy cow. This guy is a fearless competitor, and he's got the best ball skills in college football.
It's like a modern-day Jim Thorpe. 2nd down and 10 at the 35. Can do it all. Wilson. Looking. And it's caught for 1st down. And this time it's Zacharias Williams. 30 seconds to go. Utes get lined up after the 16-yard gain. Wilson under pressure, hit as he throws, and it's complete. Once again, this time it's Bernard out of the backfield. Craig, the tackle.
He got hit pretty good, guys. Wilson is playing pretty courageous under a lot of pressure. And this has been a pretty positive series for them throwing the football. Getting it to a young player, Zacharias Williams, who's a freshman from Carson, California. He went to J. Sarah High School in the Trinity League in Southern Cal, which is such a great league. This is that hit I was talking about. Look at that, just right in the chest. Man.
I remember you told me when you're quarterback and the next day on Sunday, all this is hurting up in the sternum area.
All your ribs and in the front of your neck. And everyone's like, why is the front of your neck hurt? It's because when you get whipped back, you kind of flex your chin like that, you know? And it's like, it's just miserable, I can tell you that.
But you miss it, don't you?
I do, man. I do. Oh, man.
Look at this. This is Joel Klatt, folks, when he was a quarterback.
I know exactly what it feels like.
And check out the last picture. My favorite picture of Joel Klatt.
There, right there?
No, not that one. Oh, there was another one. We'll get to it in a second. 2nd down and 8 at the 47. Here's Wilson. Underneath and intercepted. No. Broken up, though.
They're going to need a few more yards. Here's the one. I'm trying to get it off topic because I know what you want to show. Right?
This is my favorite picture.
I knew you were showing that.
How many fingers do I have up?
Oh, hit the one in the middle.
You were a little fat boy back then.
Oh, yeah. That was like 35 pounds ago, man.
What'd you weigh then? About 215?
220?
What you weigh now? 190?
186?
Man, you look good.
187?
Good. 3rd down and 8 at the 47.
They trim a few layers, you know?
You have. Living good. Isaac Wilson has been courageous. Rolls out, sets up. Backside, caught. Out of bounds at the 30. Zipper with the reception. Gain of 17. Utah in position now.
Yeah, and they're definitely in field goal range. Cole Becker, he's actually a former Colorado kicker. He's now the Utah kicker. His career long is about 56. So they're well within his range now, and a really good series from Kyle Whittingham and something to build on. Remember, they received the second half kickoff here, so a positive series here now with 8 seconds.
See if they can get it a little closer or maybe even take a shot into the end zone. 1st down. 8 seconds to go. Wilson drops it off over the middle and incomplete. Butterfingers that time for Bernard with 3 seconds to go. And they'll bring in the field goal kick.
You just wonder if Bernard's hand is healthy. Remember, Jenny told us that they were working on his hand, and there's a little pressure. And that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. I think that was Thomas who got his hand on that ball, and Bernard just couldn't bring it in, and Becker will be out to try the field goal.
So Becker has kicked 4 50-yarders in his career, including a 56-yarder in Colorado against Utah. This one from 47. Piece of cake. It's good. 21-9. Utah with something to build on as they head into the locker room. Kyle Whittingham's team continuing to fight. Don't forget, after the break, join Rob and the boys with the State Farm halftime show right here at Folsom Field.
Gus, into a team that can win in different areas, and we see that with some dominant special teams play today, as well as a defense that has been very good, in particular up front.
So Utah will have the ball to start the second half. Smith Snowden is the deep man, as Gerlach will send it away. This one into the end zone for a touchback. Been tough sledding for Isaac Wilson. 1st and 10 of the 25. Wilson hands it off. Bernard breaks it back and a gain a couple.
And this Colorado defense has been very good against the run so far today. You look up and Utah has 23 yards rushing. They've tried to run the ball 15 times. That's 1.5 yards per carry. And this is a Utah team that felt like they could be dominant up front. Rob Livingston, the defensive coordinator for Colorado, he's done a masterful job of getting these guys ready and creating some schemes that wreak havoc, in particular against whatever the offense wants to do best.
2nd down and 8 at the 27. Wilson hands it off, and they'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Silman Craig. We always mention his name with the tackle.
Man, and I tell you what did Coach say about Silman Craig to us? He said, he might not be the highest draft pick, but you better select him and then he's not going to leave. And he's been a big reason. He's so smart that they make so many good adjustments in the second half. You look at their point differential after halftime in the third quarter, plus 52. Second half, plus 75, both top 20 in college football. And a lot of that has to do with smart players and smart scheme, and Silman Craig is certainly at the top of that list.
3rd down and 8 at the 27-yard line. Wilson under pressure, underneath, caught, and a first down. Great throw. Munir McClain gobbled it up, and he'll gain 10. First down, Utes.
I tell you what, the calm that Isaac Wilson had in the pocket right there, there was a rush bearing down on him. He's going to get hit, and he shows some real football character right there from a quarterback, standing in and delivering a solid ball to Munir McClain. McClain, a USC transfer, goes down and gets it. Just his 2nd catch of the year.
First down at the 36. Bernard, the lone setback and a flag. False start coming up against the Utes.
False start. Number 85, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
But let's talk about Isaac Wilson. Isaac Wilson, his brother, Zach Wilson, was a tremendous quarterback at BYU. Lottery pick, went to the New York Jets. Didn't work out well for him there. Doesn't work out for a lot of quarterbacks or a lot of players or a lot of people with the Jets. But you just get the feeling, as they have to move on from Cam Rising, that this young man has potential and could be the heir apparent.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're hoping. And he certainly has the talent to do that.
Whoa! Bernard just dropped in the backfield. Wagwan, the senior from Houston, the Houston transfer. Folks, he's 5'11", 290 pounds.
Yeah, he is
number 97.
A spark plug in there, Gus. Watch him play so low to the ground. You know, he goes in there and he fights his way free. Beautiful job. You'll see real speed here as Wonko gets in the backfield, and boom. Bernard just nowhere to go, and now they are way behind the chains.
That's a loss of 2. 2nd down and 17 at the 29. Wilson guns it over the middle. Intercepted again. Hill Green this time. So now Shedeur Sanders has thrown an interception, and Isaac Wilson has thrown an interception.
This is just straight, called Tampa 2 defense. It means the middle linebacker is going to run straight down the middle of the field as the safeties split. Wilson never sees him. He tries to get that in-breaking route over the middle, and Hill Green is there. 2nd straight game that Hill Green has gotten an interception. Picked off Texas Tech a week ago in the 2nd half, and now Utah, their fans watching Hill Green get his 2nd straight game with an interception, both in the 2nd half. Beautiful play.
So Colorado takes over. First down and 10 at the Utah 37-yard line. Augustin in the backfield. They'll give it to him. Stop and start with a burst. Augustin! High step and touchdown! Colorado! 37 yards.
7-yard touchdown run for number 23.
And look at that Colorado offensive line. Open up holes.
It's been a tough day for Jordan Seaton, but watch this block by the true freshman. They run a little bit of a stunt right there, and he peels back, and that's what allows this lane right there. Beautiful block. And now down the field, Travis Hunter hustling down, trying to get a little bit of a block for Augustin, and Colorado on the ground. They had negative yards rushing on the ground, and Gus, here they are with a rushing touchdown.
27-9, make it 28-9 Buffaloes. Deion Sanders, when he took the job, he said, "We coming." Well, folks, The Buffaloes are here. How about that?
Fan base. He has grown this fan base exponentially large across the country.
Buffalo send it away. Ball fielded at the 10-yard line, and they'll get it up the field. But Deion Sanders, he's under construction a little bit nowadays. He's been remodeling. Look at what he's done. Everyone remembers when he arrived in Boulder. Buffalo's coming off a 1-11 season. The team needing a serious remodel. He's done just that, bringing in 95 transfers last 2 years. This season, Colorado 72, their best start in 8 years. Doing it with 19 starters that were transfers. The transfer portal, folks. As those Dr. Pepper commercials say, it's an odyssey. First down to the 25. And off straight ahead. Mike Mitchell.
Number 21, Mike Mitchell.
And he's stopped by Silvin Craig again. And what they said about Silvin Craig, Deion said, when the pro scouts come and they talk to him, they say, hey. He says, hey, you better draft Silvin Craig because whatever camp he gets into, he's not leaving. He's going to make the team. He's smart, he's tough, he's courageous, doesn't stand out on film, but he makes plays. 2nd and 5 at the 30. And off right, Mitchell. Not a lot.
You know, you think about the transfer portal, and Silvin Craig is a great face of that portal following Deion Sanders, but also just the entire defensive front. We've been singing their praises. You know, the sack numbers are up for Colorado. The rushing defense numbers, they're up. Silvin Craig has played phenomenal. All of these guys came to Colorado through the transfer portal. And what Colorado is doing right now, what Indiana is doing right now, you look at this defense, points per game, less by 16. You know, their third down defense, they're really solid in third down defense at only 36%. You can transform a program very quickly.
I know what I want to do on your show. You have a show, right? You have a couple shows, about 6 or 7 shows, right? That's right. One of the shows, can I do the Black College Sports Report?
You bet.
Where I can go through the CIAA, the MEAC, the SWAC. Pay attention to me. 3rd down and 4. And this one thrown up high. Nice catch. Bernard, first down, Utah. Gain of 5.
Yeah, they need to get to this more often. Colorado, one of the only things that they've really struggled with on defense is defending the running back out of the backfield in the passing game. Every single week they get, well, I call it a wheel route, where they get somebody out of the backfield and right down the sideline. And you look up and it's like the most receiving yards per game allowed to running backs this season. Colorado, top of the list, 50 yards per game. That's where Utah needs to go if they want to come back in this one.
First down and 10 at the 36-yard line. Quarterback run, and this time it's Keaton Wade for the tackle for the loss. A loss of 6 yards.
Wade has been a breath of fresh air with this group, and I tell you what makes them so dynamic as pass rushers. Gus, you notice all the names that you're calling. It's because they can rotate these ends, and a lot of guys play, and these coaches, you know, they have faith in all of these players that they've brought in from the portal. Warren Sapp coaches them up, man, and I'm telling you, they can get after it.
Coach Sapp rocking a mohawk lately. Love it. 2nd and 16 at the 30. Warren Sapp, just such an interesting story for Colorado. Here's the pass over the middle, and it's caught at midfield. Great throw by Wilson, and it's caught by Landon King. Shiloh Sanders with the tackle, a gain of 21.
You're starting to see some glimpses. I'm telling you, you know, Isaac Wilson was thrust into the lineup way before he should have been in college football. His 2nd game, all of a sudden he's in there taking meaningful snaps. Utah fans, you know he was in there too early. Kyle knows he was in there too early, but what you see, Gus, is these little glimpses and these moments, and now all of a sudden a ball like that, you start to think to yourself, okay, build on that, youngster.
He's got to get in there, get the experience, which means he's going to take some lumps. But right now he's showing some really positive signs as they run the ball. Mitchell goes backwards. We were talking about Warren Sapp, folks. Warren Sapp, legendary player. Came out of football, had some good stuff with the NFL Network, then went through some bumpy times, unfortunately. But what Deion Sanders saw in Warren Sapp was a man that needed purpose. And he gave him this job. Warren came down to Jackson State, watched him. Now, Warren given that purpose, eats breakfast with the kids in the morning, coaches them up, is out of here by noon. I've never seen him happier. He is a happy man and just infectious on this team. 2nd down and 9. Near side, incomplete.
You know, it's so true. When he said purpose, my ears perked up, because I will tell you, it doesn't matter if you're a gold jacket Hall of Famer like Warren Sapp, or if this is the last year that you're going to play college football, or if today's your last high school football game. Every single guy that takes off the pads for the last time can at times struggle with purpose moving forward.
Yep.
Deion recognized that, and heck, Deion found his purpose as a head coach here, and he knew that Warren needed purpose. He gave him that, and it's really benefited this entire program.
3rd down and 9 at the 48. Wilson gaining confidence. Wilson sets up a screen, a little low, incomplete. McClain, the intended target, now 4th down.
Just a touch short, you know, and there was a little bit of pressure right there, but Wilson's going to watch this film and know that he can set his feet and try to give McClain a better ball up on the chest. If he frames him up, it's called. You throw that up on the frame, he can turn and create something positive, maybe get to the line to gain, and you're still on the field.
Wester, the deep man at the 10. Remember, he returned one, 76 yards for a touchdown, the first time he touched it on punt return. Bo Mistro tried to keep it away from him. And it's fair caught inside the 10. So here comes Travis Hunter. Back on the field. He's got an interception. He's got receptions. Playing like that Heisman favorite. Back after this. (28-9), Colorado. 1st down and 10 for Shedeur Sanders and the offense. Augusta, who broke one big on his last touch, will not gain a yard on this play. Tafuna bottles him up.
This is a team that struggled after they felt like they could put away Texas Tech. There you see Augusta, that 37-yard rush. Longest touchdown run by a Colorado player since 2018. But last week, Deion, he wanted them to finish better. Well, you're up now 28-9, midway through the 3rd quarter here, tail into the 3rd quarter. He's going to want them to finish here.
Sanders just shovels it away. That's incomplete. He had pressure on him. Knocked down in the end zone.
Man, you do not want to put the ball in a precarious spot and give Utah life here. The last thing that Shedeur wants to do here is, one, you cannot take a sack. Certainly a safety right now would ignite Utah and make them feel like they've got a little bit of belief. But you also don't want to put the ball in harm's way here. You got to be sure about this throw.
3rd down and 10 at the 8-yard line. Sanders over the middle, broken up. This one deflected by Fano, and Colorado will punt it away.
I'll tell you, this is great recognition, because when you see Travis Hunter in this position, right, and he's going to be dragging across. So what do? Fano right here, he's going to understand that, and he drops out of the blitz, and he's just going to be right in front of Hunter as he's trying to catch that ball, and he's going to bat it away. That's great scouting report. Fano and that coaching staff understanding the formation and knowing what Colorado wants to do.
Bassett punting 8 yards deep in his own end zone. Singer, the deep man, hovering around midfield. Line drive over the end-over-end kick, rather. And it's caught. Singer dancing. Sideline, and he'll get to the Colorado 40. So Utah will start with great field position after the 47-yard punt and the 15-yard return.
This Utah team, as their offense coming off the field. It's like, all right, it looks like we're going to stay here. Didn't know if the officials were going to give the commercial sign there or let them play. I think we're going to play. Gus, I talked about that running back passing game. If Utah wants to get something going here on this series, I think they need to get back to that. You know, to try to ignite the passing game. And the way that you do that is that you create a 2 or 3 receiver side here down to the short side. Two tight ends, something, and then you offset the back towards this short side. You invite man coverage, and then what you would do is you would try to get the running back out like this while running these guys in the block.
First down at the 40-yard line. Play fake. Wilson has got a man. Touchdown, Utah! What a great throw by Ike Wilson. Dorian Singer. This may be your guy, folks. Down the line. Terrific toss on Travis Hunter.
And they just torched him. Singer with a great route. It's one-on-one over far side of the field, and here's Singer. He just runs right past him. They don't double move. They don't do anything. First touchdown Travis Hunter has allowed all season long, and that was a perfectly thrown ball. Partner, you called it perfect. Isaac Wilson with an absolute dime to the best receiver Utah has, and they are back in business. Good stop on defense, and here they are with a touchdown.
6:10 to play in the third. 28-16. Ike Wilson finding his target. Great touch. Utah. Coach Witt's team will not quit. Travis Hunter getting burned. Isaac Wilson putting that ball on the money. I like this kid, folks. Eventually, Utah is going to have to move on from Cam Rising. They need a quarterback. Here's Hood. And Hood wrapped up at the 15-yard line. Great special teams play by John Randall Jr.
So you bring up Rising, you know, that he would have to apply for hardship, a waiver to come back. He has not spoken about what he intends, but, you know, I think that Utah understands that looking to the future is an important part of what's going on right now, and Isaac Wilson gets better every game. When I watch him on film, are there some mistakes? Yes. But then there's moments, and there's been more quality moments in this game than I think I've seen in the games that I've prepared with watching the film. And I'm with you, Gus. Like, Isaac shows some things. There's been a couple of throws over the middle. That throw to Singer down the sideline. Like, there are flashes of a guy that can be an excellent player in college football.
Remember, he's a true freshman. First down, Shedeur Sanders steps up in the pocket and decides to run. Serviceable runner, not a great runner, Shedeur Sanders. Barton chasing. But to talk about Wilson, looks just like his brother Zach. Zach playing with Denver now behind Bo Nix. And you know that Zach Wilson is eventually going to turn it around as a quarterback. I hear that they're expressing some trade rumors now with Wilson. Zach Wilson's going to be a terrific quarterback in the NFL, and his brother's got some genes as well.
You can see that with guys like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. Guys find opportunities in the NFL, and they can succeed.
Second down and 2. Here's the first down now. Colorado. As they get to the 30-yard line. Fana with the tackle as Auguste runs the football.
Yeah, a couple of nice runs from Auguste. Obviously the touchdown run, but there on a second down. And I know the scramble from Shedeur, it didn't look like much, but what does it do? It brings up a short yardage situation on second down, and then they just move the chains, you know, and that's a type of easy first down that Colorado has not gotten today. There's been a lot of third and longs.
6 carries, 61 yards for Auguste. And a touchdown. Sanders checks it down, incomplete. this time. Timmons, the intended receiver, as he takes his eyes off the football.
Trying to set up that tunnel screen that I was talking about in the first half, trying to get them on the inside. And you see right there a little encouragement from LeJontay Wester, more of a veteran. And he says to Timmons, he's like, hey, all right, you know, shake it off. You're going to need to make another catch here coming up soon.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 29. Auguste breaks it back, and he will be tackled for a loss about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Hall, the sophomore from Katy, Texas, with the tackle.
You know, the good series that we see from Colorado, and this extends even not just today, but even in the games that I've watched on film, is when they're getting the ball out of Sanders' hands quickly. I know they just tried to run it, but you know, the straight drop back game is actually where they struggle a little bit. The quick game is where they're most dangerous with these fast wide receivers on the outside.
3rd and 10 at the 29. Sanders over the middle now. Caught, but not a lot of room for Wester. That's because he was taken down by Teo Johnson. Only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, beautiful job by Teo Johnson. So here's Teo Johnson right here at safety, and he's just going to be flying down over that crossing route, and this, watch the open field tackle, just grabs him right away, never breaks stride. Teo Johnson was a little banged up, has missed some time, and he's back and healthy, and he's a guy that they really rely on. Had 52 tackles coming into today's ball game.
Bassett will punt it away at the 15. Singer back deep. I'm excited about seeing what Isaac Wilson is going to do. He's getting ready to get the ball again. Bassett just hits a bomb back to the 10-yard line for Singer. Trying to split the defense, and he'll get to the 20 before being ridden down. A 57-yard punt and an 8-yard.
They're tough to beat, so certainly not a cakewalk here for Colorado, and in particular now with Isaac Wilson getting this Utah team, they're moving a little bit here in the second half, Gus.
1st down and 10. Wilson backside. Finds his man, and that's Bernard, who gets up the field. A gain of 6. Nice play.
Coming into this game, and I talked about this with our group last night, I felt like the game plan for Utah was going to be slow the game down, run the football as often as you can, 40, 45, 50 times possibly, like they did a year ago to Colorado. But the problem is they can't run the ball. They've only run the ball for 22 yards. So now Kyle Whittingham, the game's now on the shoulders of number 11, and he's now thrown the ball 28 times so far.
2nd and 4 at the 27. They hand it off, Bernard, and this play just plugged up. Great job, Arden Walker again.
Just no room in the running game, and it comes down to, can they find a completion on the outside? Singer is obviously their best player, number 3, but they've gotten some contributions from others. Monir McClain has got a couple of catches. You got some tight ends out there. Landon King had an opportunity as well. So this Utah team trying to scrap together some completions here on 3rd down.
Ike Wilson, 13 of 28, 143, a touchdown, 2 picks. 3rd down and 5 at the 26. Wilson with time underneath, incomplete. That ball thrown a tad high. Stottmeyer with pressure, and Utah will have to punt it away.
Well, he got pressure from that left side of the offense, and I just didn't feel like he was able to step into the throw. So as Wilson is looking downfield, you can see he wants McClain right there and kind of has him, but he's got traffic in his lower half, and the ball just sails on him above McClain's head, and Utah will have to punt it away.
Wester, the deep man, at the 34. Boomeister from the 10. End over end kick. They're caught at the 24-yard line. 40-yard punt. Now coming up next on Fox, we've got more college football coming your way as Nebraska kicks it off against USC. That's a huge game for Nebraska as they try to get bowl eligible. USC struggling as well. Then at 8 Eastern, Cincinnati takes on Iowa State. It's all today on FOX.
Yeah, I tell you, that Nebraska team, we thought they jumped out to 5-1 under Matt Rule. Dylan Raiola, that young quarterback, we had him in that game against Indiana. Indiana pounded them. They've never recovered. And now they're standing on those 5 wins. And
Fired their offensive coordinator?
They did fire their offensive coordinator. Now Dana Holgerson, who's obviously the head coach at West Virginia, and then Houston is now in at Nebraska to call the plays for the young quarterback.
First down and 10 of the 25. Sanders dumps it down. Nice catch. Draylon Miller, backup wide receiver, will gain 4.
This Colorado team, you know, we've seen this now already today. I see it in previous week's game. You see the excellent play, and the peaks are really high, but then they go into these lulls and the valleys, and they can look disjointed, and that's what Deion Sanders wants to correct.
Sanders again, this time to the near side, and it's Augustus. Young Gus. Getting over the...
Hey, did you have moves like that?
Yeah, I wish. Not even close.
I tell you what, though, man.
Slowest black man in the history of the world. True story. First down and 10 at the 37. They throw it out wide. And out of bounds is Miller.
You know, but what I heard is you were a savvy player. A smart player. That's right.
Cerebral.
That's it. That's it. Oh, man.
57 years old, boy. Tell you. Remember those days. I know you miss it out there, don't you, Joe?
Oh, there's no doubt, especially being here. I can't tell you how many games I attended in this stadium.
Second down and 5. Sanders, sideline, caught, first down, and it's Travis Hunter. Tell you what, folks, about my partner, Joel Klatt. He had 44 passing records, or school records, when he left Colorado. And Joel, you have been tremendous as a representative of the University of Colorado, as a representative of the state of Colorado, of Fox Sports, and of college football. As my father would say, great job, young man. Now, just don't screw it up.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. That was very nice of you to say.
And it's true. Here's Sanders on the move. Caught, sideline, Travis Hunter. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter.
The game clock hit 0, and here we will find out what replay is going to give us.
After further review, the ball was not snapped before the clock hit 0. Therefore, by rule, the play did not happen. The third quarter ends. It will be first down at the 45-yard line. This is the end of the third quarter.
All right, so let's go back to it here. There's your game clock on the left, and Shedeur is trying to get that, and there is 0. Boy, that was awfully tight. And you know, on the play clock, I know, trust me, as a quarterback, and they even talk about this with you, is you get a beat. You know, it kind of hits 0, and you can kind of snap it right there, but clearly the beat not given there on the game clock. I'm pretty surprised that they reversed that. But as it is, that catch for Travis Hunter comes off of the board.
And that wipes off a 28-yard gain. So Colorado offbeat a bit. Hunter having an excellent game. Did get burned for a touchdown, though. See if he can make up for it on offense. First down at the 45 as we start the fourth quarter. Sanders steps up, delivers a deep ball. Incomplete. Hunter there, goes down hard. Shedeur Sanders trying to squeeze that between 2 defenders, Teo Johnson and Vaughn.
You saw the adjustment there from Hunter. He tried to get back inside of Vaughn and then extend. Would have been just an absolute highlight reel catch if he would have gotten to that football, but just out of his reach.
Second and 10 at the 45. Hayden, nothing. Great job by this Utah front 7. These guys are strong, led by Jonathan Hall. Loss of 2.
Tough to run the ball on this group, and you know, I get it. You know, Colorado is trying to finish this thing out. They're trying to get a little bit of a rhythm, but they've gone away from that quick game. And every series that they've had positive movement, they get the ball out into the flat quickly. They get the ball out of Sanders' hand quickly. And then when they get into this stagnant drop back, then run game, drop back, then run game, those are the series that are not quality for Colorado.
3rd down and 12 at the 47. 4 on the play clock. Empty backfield for Shedeur. Sanders over the middle, caught. Miller, high stepping at the 5, touchdown Buffaloes. What a play, 47 yards, Draylon Miller. Shedeur Sanders keeping his receivers' hands full.
Tell you, this is a next level throw right here. You're going to get Draylon Miller right down the seam, but I want you to watch the throw because it's over the linebacker and yet in front of the corner who goes over the top. That's called a layered throw. A next level NFL throw from Shedeur Sanders. The safety's in the middle of the field, and the true freshman Draylon Miller, he gets into the end zone. What a throw.
From Silsbee, Texas. Extra point good, 7th play, 75 yards. They score in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Shedeur Sanders, 24 of 35, 243, 3 tugs, a pick. He is balling out, 35-16 Buffs.
Coach, you told me at the half that you were not seeing Colorado football on display. What are you seeing now?
Well, we hadn't got a rhythm offensively. Defensively, they're playing stout. We need to get a rhythm offensively and just put this game away.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
God bless.
Every NFL scout that I talk to says, yeah, this is going to be the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft next spring. I mean, and that last throw was evidence of that. Threw a guy open, layered throw. It was beautiful. Pacific Life Game Summary is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. And, you know, you look at this Colorado team, and defensively, they're just a totally different group than they were a year ago. Nikhai Hill-Green transfers in. He's been a mainstay for them at linebacker, got the pick. That set up their offense. Isaiah Augusta, young Gus, scampers in for the touchdown. How about the young receiver, Draylon Miller, 47-yard touchdown. He was a guy that was a huge recruit for them, a 4-star player, top 100 player overall. And he's kind of a young Debo, Gus, where he's like a running back, wide receiver hybrid. A nice catch for him.
And Wilson throws a strike over the middle. And he has his receiver at midfield, Carson Ryan, the junior. UCLA transfer.
And a beautiful throw. Watch him throw it, and this is exactly what Shedeur just did. So watch him throw his receiver open right into this area of the football field, just over the linebacker in front of Silman Craig. Isaac Wilson, he's made 6 or 7 of some of the better throws that I've seen on tape all year long.
He's 14 of 30, 166, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. First down, though, at the 48. He's growing right in front of our eyes. Empty backfield for Ike. Quick strike, that one low, caught Bernard, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Man, Silman Craig is so quick in the way that he recognizes what's going on. And then what I love about Silman Craig is that he is also terrific against blocks. You know, so watch Silman Craig. So here's Silman Craig, and he's not the first guy that's going to arrive, but watch when he gets there and he gets around the block, and then he's there to mop things up. BJ Green, excellent job from his in spot. This is why this defense has been playing so much better.
6 tackles for loss for Colorado. 2nd and 11. Wilson in the pocket, over the middle. He's got his man, and this time it's Singer. Singer about 2 yards short of that first down as Lavonta Bentley brings him down.
This is a pass rusher's dream because you're just going to get The throw game from Utah, and now it's an opportunity for these guys to get after it. But you got to credit the protection from Utah. I think it's been better in the second half. Wilson has been so much more confident in what he's seeing. His command of the game right now, even from the start of the game, has, I think, increased. And now an opportunity to try to stay on the field here on third down.
And I know his big brother Zach is watching this, and he is so proud of his little bro. Third down and 3 at the 45. Ike Wilson over the middle, first down, Utah.
Wilson's pass complete to number
McLean.
4, Munir McLean.
Gain of 5.
Tackled by number
As
41,
a
Mekhi
quarterback,
Becton.
Gus, you always hear me say things like this. Just take what the defense gives. Right? It's a short third down opportunity, and you got a completion, take it. They're giving it to you. Don't wait for something bigger. He takes it, he moves the chains, and it's a first down. Those are the learning experiences. Look at this, 9 of 13 now in the second half for 116 and a touchdown.
First down and 10 at the 40. 11 minutes to go. Wilson guns it, caught at the 15-yard line. Ryan again. So now Ike Wilson starting to go to his tight end
Carson Ryan.
as a safety back.
Tackled by number 12.
25-yard gain.
I want you to watch his vision here, because he's going to put eyes on the left side right there and then come back and throw his tight end open right down the seam. He does a great job of moving Shiloh Sanders, the free safety, over to the left and then coming back to the tight end, and he gets it over Hill Green. Remember earlier today he got picked off by Hill Green. He's learning the lesson real time, doesn't make that mistake again. He puts it over his head for a completion.
Ike Wilson 5 of 5 on this drive from the 15 of Colorado. Wilson looks left underneath. He's got his TE again. Carson Ryan, he'll get to the 5.
Now, I tell you, they had a great tight end go down, Brant Kuithe. But it's Utah fans, you'll remember this. When Kuithe went down a few years ago, Dalton Kincaid stepped up and was a monster and ended up being a draft pick. So at some point, one of these other tight ends is going to have to step up, and Carson Ryan looks to be that guy. Now, 5 targets, 3 catches, but Gus, 57 yards, 19 yards a catch for Carson Ryan.
25, 23, and 9 yards. Second and 1 at the 6. Utes can still get a first down. Bernard, the deep back. They'll give it to him, looking for that first down, and he has it. Inside the 5, Suleiman Craig with the tackle.
Tackled by number 7, Cameron.
Boy, what a series for this Utah offense. This is the best series that they've had all day. Best series that Isaac Wilson has played all day long. And now first and goal. You know, they have
From the 3.
struggled at times. Even today, in this situation, they had the ball inside the 5 on their first series of the day, had to settle for a field goal. So we'll see where they go here. Again, it's been more of a throw game than a rush game for Utah. I'm sure that they'll stay in the air with their freshman quarterback.
First down and goal at the 3. Bernard, the pistol back. Play fake. Inside, touchdown Utah. Caleb Launer. And Isaac Wilson has come alive in the second half for the Utes.
This is just such a great route. Watch Launer right here, Caleb Launer, and he's just going to go in and box him out. Give me the ball in the block.
That's a post-up.
That's a post-up move. That's exactly right. Just an entry pass from Isaac Wilson, and it's a great series. And a way to finish it right there, going to another tight end. So now Carson Ryan, Caleb Launer. All of a sudden now you're getting some tight ends that are emerging after the injury to Brant Kuithe a week ago.
Now they decide to go for 2. Bernard in the backfield. Play fake. Wilson sets up backside's got his man, and they'll score. Wow, that's Spencer Fano, the right tackle. seal in the injury.
Right,
Coaches
exactly.
say that's to be sealed.
Colorado at the 20.
He let him get to the low blocks.
That's right. Got to be a man down there.
You know, Gus, there is a super fan here, and I remember her fondly. Miss Peggy. And Miss Peggy turned 100 this year. And Dion has shared like so many great moments with Peggy, and the entire stadium in our last commercial break sang happy birthday to Peggy. Now, I got to tell you, as a guy that's been in this stadium a long time, Peggy Copham is as good as they come. And I've had the privilege of speaking to her at Buff Bell's several times and wish Peggy, happy birthday. You're the absolute best.
That's right. Happy birthday, Miss Peggy. First down and 10. Let's see if the Buffaloes can finish this game. Shedeur Sanders decides to turn on the Jets. He'll dive forward, get close to that first down, maybe have it. They say it's a gain of 9.
I tell you what, I don't know how he escaped that pocket. It looked like he was dead to rights there. A couple of Utah players, including Connor O'Toole, had a chance at Shedeur, and he's got that sneaky elusiveness in the pocket, and he's able to escape and get positive yards.
They'll give him 9. Second down and 1. Out wide. First down, Colorado. And that's Wester. Wester has just really contributed in numerous ways in this game for the Bucs.
Yeah, and talk about contributing. We got a guy out there, 50 snaps on both sides of the football. And watch the effort Travis Hunter is giving on the outside on this block. I mean, like, that's a great block. I know he gets thrown off at the same time, but, I mean, he's sealing the edge right there for his teammate.
First down and 10. Another quick throw. This time it's Dallin Hayden.
This is a big series for Colorado. You know, you go back to some of these games as Hayden looks like he's shaking up there. Now you got 7:30 and counting, you know, inside of 7:30. Colorado's had some issues closing out games this year. And we've seen, you know, them play great today. We've seen them play sloppy today. But this is a point of emphasis here. You got an 11-point lead now inside of 7:30.
Second down and 8 at the 43. Sanders slant underneath. Lou Shepard lost it. Utah says they have it. Was it a catch is the question. The ruling on the field is that it's a fumble, and the Utah Utes have it again.
It looks like Shepard was trying to get away from the safety, Teo Johnson. And Johnson doesn't hit him hard, but it looked like he just grazed the football. So
Here's your football move.
That's going to be close, I can tell you that. He did have a couple of feet down, and Gus, he needs that element of time, you know, to create a move. Do you tuck it? And it, boy, that looks close. And obviously ruling on the field is catch fumble. Utah with that clear recovery right away. This is going to be a huge review. It looked to me like there was enough time there to call that a catch.
Once again, the ruling on the field is a catch. And let's join Mikey Rulebooks in the studio in LA. Mike Pereira, what are your thoughts on this one? Was that a catch?
You know, kind of like Joel referenced this, the fact that it's ruled on the field as a catch and fumble. Now you look at the process, he gets control, and he's actually going to tuck the ball in, and then you start thinking feet. 1, 2, a third before the ball gets knocked out. I don't see how you can reverse this to an incomplete pass, although it's fairly close.
Here we go.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Utah.
Oh, man, Utah really starting to bow their necks now, forcing the turnover. Colorado's 3rd turnover of this game, and that'll bring on Isaac Wilson and this red-hot Utah offense right now.
Great job by Teo Johnson. Again, back in the lineup today after being banged up, and then Lander Barton right there, number 8, with the clear recovery. And now great field position for this Utah team, who is coming off their best offensive series of the game.
And they have a hot quarterback. Isaac Wilson continues to grow, continues to evolve, learning, confidence, beaming, the momentum shifting. 1st and 10 at the 45. Wilson in trouble, batted down, and he'll fall on it. Good hands on the football for this Colorado team.
Boy, McNeil
Looks
with
like McNeil.
Watch how quick his hands are, Gus, because he kind of swatted at this ball. Oh, no, it's his own guy. Moyai actually hit that ball, the guard, out of Wilson's hands.
2nd down and 18. Wilson fires. Oh, what a throw. He threaded the needle. Ryan with the catch. How about Isaac Wilson?
I tell you, that's an unconscious throw right there, right in the middle of 3 Colorado defenders, and it is thrown perfectly. Right over Hood, who's diving for the ball. Shiloh can't get there in time.
It's in his blood. Wilson again. And this time he'll just throw this one at the feet of his intended receiver, Bernard. Love how this kid is competing today. Wilson, 20 of 36, 215, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. His long 40 yards, passer rating 112.9.
And they're doing this without Brant Keithy, their best tight end, without Money Parks. Micah Pittman left the program. You've got Bernard out there with a bad hand. You got Dorian Singer, so they're having to create weapons on the outside. And the tight ends, Gus, have stepped up and played phenomenal. Whether it's Carson Ryan, Caleb Lohner, they've been terrific down the middle of the field.
That snapped 8 consecutive completions for Isaac Wilson. 2nd and 10. Wilson looking in trouble. Wilson buys time, backs up, lets it go, picked off. Incredible. DJ McKinney, right place, right time, and the Utes self-inflicted wound. 3rd interception of the day for Isaac Wilson. Colorado with the football. Early interception. Colorado responds though. And they started taking a lead. Now Utah coming back in this game with Isaac Wilson leading the way. He throws a pick, stalls their drive. Colorado has it once again.
And now Utah looks like they'll start taking their timeouts. Pretty early for that, but again, they are in a 2-possession deficit here.
But you brought up a point about Isaac Wilson.
Yeah, Gus, you know, it's so interesting because you've seen the best of Isaac Wilson in his college career today. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I mean, like,
well,
I think.
From what I've seen.
And yet you also see those small moments where you see the freshman throws. That last throw was a freshman throw. I think he'll learn from that. These are the growing pains.
What are the things that he doesn't know that he will know, Isaac Wilson, down the road?
Reps allow you to play the game with the offense being a part of you. You can react. You do not have to think. Thinking slows you down. Thinking forces you to make bad decisions, to be quite honest with you. And when you think, you don't play your best. Your brain slows you down. And when you're reacting, it's born through reps. I've been through this. I know what I'm seeing, and I can react to what I'm seeing. And that's what veterans tend to play with.
Sanders off his back foot, wide open receiver. Miller again. And Miller out of bounds deep inside Utah territory. That's a gain of 48 yards.
I tell you, I really like this guy. Draylon Miller is a terrific player, and like I said, he's a bit of a Debo-style receiver where they can give him the ball in the backfield, they can hand it to him in there. Just a blown coverage from Utah. He takes off right down the middle of the field, and it's an easy throw for Sanders.
6 catches, 107 yards for Miller, and a touchdown. Now Sanders will slide down in front of the line of scrimmage.
Looked like Kyle ran down there to try to take a timeout, and it looks like he did. And a touchdown here probably salts the game away. Here's our leading receivers for the day. Draylon Miller, 6 targets, 6 catches, 107. Shepard's been terrific. He's got 2 touchdowns.
And they got another little receiver that's hurt right now that was a star last year.
Well, I think this is why. Well, you're talking about Amorion Walker.
Yes.
And yes, he's terrific, and he's been banged up since the Kansas State game. But also Jimmy Horn hasn't played today, and without Jimmy Horn in the lineup, what has that allowed? Or excuse me, Amorion Miller is the young receiver that I'm referring to, Amorion Miller. Without Jimmy Horn in the lineup today, Gus, that's what's allowed Draylon to come out here and Draylon Miller to play so well and get an opportunity, and he's taken advantage.
False start. Number 67, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Khalil Benson.
Well, it's Benson just rocks back, reacts to kind of that flinch. And Phil Woldholt right here, he's their offensive line coach, and they rotate so many guys on the interior, and they even told us this, and they were unapologetic about it. You commit a penalty on the interior of the D-line, there's a good chance you're coming out, and that's exactly what happened right there with Khalil Benson.
2nd down and 15 to the 20. Sanders steps up, thinking about it, lets it go in. What a throw. Wester found a soft spot, but Shedeur just making something out of nothing.
When they protect him in the pocket, he is surgical. But when he evades and creates outside of the pocket, there's an artistry to the way he plays. Watch him just move his body. See as he goes left, and now he gets his throw side to the front side. That means his left shoulder, he gets all the way to the throw so he can throw it accurately, and then he shows off a little arm talent for an easy completion.
First down and goal of the 4. Offerdahl in the backfield with Sanders. They give it to him. Touchdown, Colorado. Charlie Offerdahl, the junior from Littleton, Colorado. (41 to 24).
I'll tell you what. When this Colorado team is rolling, they are really good. Now 41, possibly 42 points against the #1 defense in the Big 12. This is the #1 total defense, the #1 scoring defense. And Colorado has had their way, and Offerdahl into the end zone, basically salting this one away.
Alejandro Mata in for the extra point. And it's good. 5 plays covering 63 yards. Buffalo scored 1 minute and 22 seconds. The first career touchdown for Charlie Offerdahl. And Colorado takes a 42 to 24 lead. Buffalo's not far away from improving their record to 8-2, 6-1 in the Big 12. Partner, alum, can you believe it?
I'll tell you what, man. I can't, because I will tell you, it hasn't even been clean. There's Peggy. There's Peggy. Happy 100th, Peggy. Look at how that, man, that's amazing. But I don't even think, and I think Dion would probably agree with this. I don't even think that they've been at their best today. Wouldn't you agree?
Nope.
And yet you look up and they've scored 42 on the #1 defense in the Big 12. You're wearing out the cadets down there, man.
That's right.
Doing
That's
too
right.
many push-ups.
Many push-ups. Coming up next for this Colorado team, they're at Kansas. Dangerous game as they try to keep their Big 12 championship hopes and maybe college football playoff hopes alive. Time permitting, don't forget to join Robin Boys for College Football Extra, sponsored by Defender. There's Cash Cleveland on the left.
I'll tell you, man, I can't wait for the guys to talk about this, because in the new era of college football with the expanded playoff, a day like today in Boulder, you know, you got a 7-2 Colorado team, but like this game means something to these players, these fans, for the playoff. You know, they've got a path. and they went out, and they will be in the college football playoff.
And Wilson swarmed under again. Tawfiq Thomas this time. The sacks just coming from everybody. Third of the day for Colorado. And look at Warren Sapp.
Look at Sapp's going crazy over there on the sideline.
Second down. Wilson. Near side, incomplete. Zipper, the intended receiver. They're having a good time in the stands here in Boulder.
As they should. I don't think people really know. I know you know because you've been working with me and I've told you guys, but the depth at which this program was at 2 years ago is staggering. 11 losses. Average margin of those games that year, 29 points they lost by an average of. And here they are sitting here with all this energy, with a packed house, with a Hall of Famer as a head coach, controlling their own destiny to go to the college football playoff. It's remarkable.
54,646 attendance today. Wilson pulls it down, runs it, and he'll get across the 20-yard line. A gain of 4 yards on the play.
Look at Warren over there. I mean, Warren Sapp looks like he wants to suit up. Look at his eyes. And you wonder why these kids are playing so hard. Look at that.
Fourth down and 13. Isaac Wilson in trouble. Oh, he got crushed. Another sack. They blitzed. This time it's Shiloh Sanders, and Wilson is down. He's a tough kid as he gets to his feet, wobbly. Fourth sack of the day for Colorado. Partners, who are these guys?
They're the Buffaloes, and they were 1-11 2 years ago. Shiloh Sanders off the edge, right in the chest of Isaac Wilson. Ball comes out, and just like last week, who puts it away? This defense puts it away with a turnover. The effort, the intensity of that front seven, that's what makes Colorado real. We can talk about Shedeur, we can talk about Travis, we can talk about Dion. What makes this team a bona fide championship caliber team is that defense.
Sanders looking to add to his total, steps up, on the move, has his man, and it's Wester. LaJohntay Wester makes it first down and goal after the 14-yard completion. And one thing you know, Colorado wants to get in the end zone again.
and they will not apologize for it either. They lost 7 in a row to this Utah team. This Utah team has been so dominant for a long time. Won a couple of Pac-12 championships just a few years ago, and Colorado have taken all of that out now.
Here's the reverse trickery. Hunter steps up. Hunter dives. Touchdown, Colorado. Travis Hunter. $48-24 Bucks. We coming, they said. The man said we coming on his first day. Well, guess what? They're here because of him. Mata, extra point. 49 big ones for the Buffaloes.
Hunter on the left side. Pitch from Offerdahl, dead to rights. You got 4 Utes there, and then he leaps over another for a touchdown. Travis Hunter has played every single snap, and that one was the first rushing touchdown of his career. Terrell Owens, loving it. Striking the post.
Buffaloes with 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. And yes, Deion Sanders has 3 sons that participate in this program. You may as well say 4. Travis Hunter.
We talked about Silman Craig taking a chance on Prime. How about the #1 overall recruit in the country taking a chance on Prime?
Going to Jackson State.
Going to Jackson State. He's going to the HBCU, and he went down there and he was all swag. And the questions were there. Were these kids going to be able to come up from the HBCU, from the SWAC, and be able to play at this level? 66 snaps on each side of the ball today. 55 receiving yards, a touchdown, an interception.
And there's been
catch, man.
There has been one Heisman winner for the Colorado Buffaloes, Rashaan Salaam, rest in peace, back in 1994. Could this man be the second?
He came into today as the odds-on favorite, and all he did was score a rushing touchdown, intercept the ball, have a nice day through the air.
And he's out of the game right now. They're going to give him a break.
Number 21, Mike Mitchell.
First snap that he's missed all day long.
But you know what he's thinking about?
5 yards.
That touchdown he gave up. I bet you when you talk to him after the game.
Yeah, because he's as competitive as they come.
2 minutes to play. Big day for Coach Prime and his Buffaloes. 49-24. Hey, Miss Peg.
Why are you running a reverse to Travis Hunter late? And it's like, well, as Utah carries the ball over the left side, it goes back to the conversation we were just having. That kid right there was the #1 recruit in the country. As hyped as they come. And he chose to go play for Deion Sanders at Jackson State. That loyalty is being reciprocated. And Deion saying, young man, you deserve that trophy. Here's the rock. That's what that was. You know, if you're upset and you're a Utah fan, I get it. I get it. But that's what that was. It was a reciprocation of loyalty.
He decommitted from Florida State out of high school and went to Jackson State. Played in the SWAC. New quarterback in the game now. Luke Bottari.
Number 15, Luke Bottari.
As
complete to number 21, Mike Mitchell.
Isaac Wilson's day has come to an end. And Stuart Sanders, Travis Hunter. What a combination.
Yep, there was the pick early in the game off of the tip. Flashed the pose right there. This was the insane catch. A 4th down, a jump ball that Shedeur throws up. He trusts his wide receiver. He comes down with it. And then right there on the end around, didn't have anything. Nowhere to go. Found somewhere to go. Winds up in the end zone and then, oh, strikes it again.
First down for Utah. But what can you say? You can't say enough about Deion Sanders. Last year, it took him some time to figure it out. He had so many detractors, so many critics who have now gone silent.
And rightly so. And rightly so. First team to score 49 points on a Utah team since 2014. Guess who did that? Oregon. They scored 51. Guess what Oregon did that year? They went to the national championship game. They ended up losing to Ohio State and Urban Meyer. It was a team quarterbacked by Marcus Mariota.
Mitchell breaks it back, picks up first. Talked to Deion yesterday, and they said, I asked him, do you think you can get to the college football playoff? He said, absolutely. Up next, Kansas. Dangerous game. But today, the Colorado Buffaloes, led by their iconic coach, Deion Sanders.